All right. I think this might be too high, but oh well. Hi guys. I am so sorry that this is 2 weeks late. You guys already know this, but I'll go ahead and just say that a couple weeks ago there was a blizzard, a very out of the blue blizzard. We had like the day before it was sunny, 72 degrees. We had our jackets off, like weren't even wearing coats, playing outside. It's beautiful. And then we're like looking at the looking at our phones and it's like weather advisory. Here's all the schools that are closing tomorrow and the businesses that are closing while we were looking at this gorgeous sky and this gorgeous outdoors. And then the next day it was a full-on blizzard and my business got closed, so I got to come home. And if it was just a blizzard, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it also caused some power outages. And we were one of them that got our power out, so we couldn't do anything with a video, any Wi-Fi or anything. We were one of the very fortunate ones. We only had it off from like 11 a.m. to 3 a.m., so you know, we can't complain. We had candles and blankets to warm us, and we used our car to charge our phones, so we weren't suffering. But yeah, we just kind of had to roll with it, and then I thought, okay, I'll just do it next week. And I'm dealing with some stuff like health-wise, so that got in the way. But now I'm going to continue doing these videos and keep working on my blog for the book reviews, which for some reason is harder to do than to just turn a camera on. I know, that's just insane. But I am going to continue working on that book review. I actually finished the book finally. And I have a lot to say. I really enjoyed it. So, you know, I'll be doing that next Wednesday. I'll get this on track and make sure that I keep doing this every Wednesday so that I continue to just have a fun distraction and get to talk to you guys about a movie I loved. And as promised, what I am doing currently is Kathryn Hahn films. My amazing friend Mariana got me on that track with Kathryn Hahn. I've always loved her as an actress, but she was one of those actresses that I had seen in movies without realizing she was in them. And she's great. Agatha All Along really attached me to her because I really loved that show, and I loved her in WandaVision. So Mariana introduced me to a few other movies that she has been in, and this particular film hooked me from the start, not just because of Kathryn Hahn, but because of the other actors who were in it, and some of them are my favorite actors ever. So the movie that I'm going to talk about today is This Is Where I Leave You. It's advertised as a comedy, and it is funny, but it's one of those films that has more focus on the drama of like the conflict or the situation, and they handle it in a non-funny way. The comedy comes from the cast, their interactions. The writing is very clever, but they do deal with things in a serious manner. It's that in between of dramedies, and a lot of people don't quite understand that whole thing. I think another good example is The Skeleton Twins with Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig. That was a really good movie, but a lot of people who I don't feel like they saw it, like there were people they were being interviewed by were saying, oh, I saw it, it was so funny, it made me laugh so hard. And I was like, that's not really the kind of film, you know? So it's one of those movies where comedians are in it and they do make it very funny, but they deal with things in a serious manner, and it's so engaging. For me, the characters were really likable. They did things, they screwed up, they made mistakes, and it made me just love them more because they were honest about it. They didn't justify their actions, they took responsibility and they dealt with them. And the situations that they're in is also relatable, like you can relate to them. But yeah, let me just kind of give you the plot here. So This Is Where I Leave You is the story of siblings who had a very good upbringing. Their mom and dad loved each other very much, and they loved the kids, and they took like really good care of them, and they had a really good relationship. So there wasn't like a troubled, conflicting past. It's actually a very happy childhood. But when they reached adulthood, things kind of went downhill. They made some mistakes, they did certain things they shouldn't have, and then their mom, who was played by Jane Fonda, decided to write a book about them. Like, they were aren't happy about that. I don't blame them. At one point, she even mentions that she read her daughter's diary to add more things into the book. Like, oh my gosh, okay, I don't blame them for being angry at their mom. But the character that we're kind of seeing it through the eyes of, I mean, we're getting to know everybody, but the one that we are introduced to bring in the story is the character of Judd, who is played by Jason Bateman, who I freaking love. I love Jason Bateman. I'll do a whole marathon with him too. But he plays the character Judd. He seems like he's in a really good family situation, a really good relationship, really happy in his job. He works at a radio station. He is, I believe, the producer of the radio, and the DJ or the person who's on it. Like he likes to cause drama, and he likes to be kind of a jerk, and that's kind of what he's famous for. And he's played by Dax Shepard. Who is also extremely likable, but he makes himself unlikable in this show in the funniest way in the movie. Judd is very excited because it's the anniversary of his wedding, his marriage, and he's very excited to go get home and surprise his wife. And oh, maybe it was her birthday. Okay, so now I feel bad that I didn't I wrote down notes, and yet I'm forgetting if it was her birthday or it was their anniversary. I'm pretty sure it was. No, I think it was her birthday. Oh gosh, sorry. He walks in on her with his boss, and so he just like it just spirals from there. It's so sad. It's so sad, and they treat it in a serious manner. They don't do this in a dark comical way. Like, he is devastated. She's apologetic, but also like, honest with him, and the boss is just an idiot. Yeah. So then he's getting a divorce, and he doesn't want the family to know about it because he doesn't want to be the attention. But he gets a call from his sister, who is played by Tina Fey. I love her. Wendy is her character. She's the oldest, I believe. And he gets a call from her, and she tells him that his dad has passed away, and she is with their mom right now, and they want to do a shiva, because the dad was Jewish, but also he was an atheist. So Jason Bateman didn't quite understand why he wanted that. And so the sister says, it is the last thing that he wanted, was for them to perform a shiva. Now, apologies if I don't quite understand what it is. I feel like the movie did a really good job explaining it. But what it seemed like is that a shiva is when a family, a Jewish family, grieving, and they spend 7 days sitting in these short chairs so that they can be on the ground to face the people, and people come by for 7 days and bring them apologies, grievances, gifts to, honor who passed away, is what it seemed like. So they have to do that, and that means they have to all be together for 7 days, and the siblings kind of drive each other nuts. But that's where the comedy comes in, despite the seriousness. A lot happens that I don't want to give away. I want you to be able to just kind of go in blind like I did. That's all I knew, and I want you to experience what I experienced. Now, Kathryn Hahn is the whole reason why I watched the movie, but so I'll go into her character a little. She plays the wife of Corey Stoll's character. I think his name was Paul. I think so. I wanted to say how much I love this movie that I have everyone's name memorized because it's that good of a writing. And now I'm blanking on their names. Even though I think his name is Paul. They are happily married, but they can't have a child. And Kathryn Hahn really wants to be a mother. She plays the character Annie, and she's got a past too with Judd, with Jason Bateman. That's kind of her main plot line, is how much she really wants to be a mother. She really wants to have a baby. Again, treated with seriousness, some comedy, some really cute, really funny moments involving that. But the whole aspect of her really wanting to be a mother hit me because, yeah, there are so many amazing people out there who want to be parents, and by some reason, either circumstances, health, something, they can't have a child or they can't afford to raise a child. They can't adopt because they don't qualify. These type of people, you know, and then there's people out there that should not be parents. they they don't even they don't even deserve the word parents, and it's so sad that that happens in life. It's unfair. And they kind of talk about that too, and I think that's really cool how they do that. Everyone has their own circumstances, but the cast is amazing. Their interactions with each other, you really do feel like they're siblings. I told Mariana in one of my notes that it kind of made me feel like it was another like version of the Umbrella Academy. Because they're siblings, and their childhood was very different, but they're siblings, they're adults now, they're messed up, and they got to take responsibility for their actions, and someone wrote a tell-all book, and they're mad at that person. So it's like they're mad at the mom for writing that tell-all book, and I really don't blame them because she really banks off of it. Like, people come to get an autograph from her at their shiva when they're like, no, this is not what this is for. And yeah, I don't blame him. I really don't. Just kind of like hearing about it. But it was really cute. It was such a good movie. Highly recommend. But don't go in thinking it's going to be full comedy. There are subject matters, there are situations that could easily have been used for humor, but instead they used it in a really respectful way. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but I'll use an example. So spoilers for this particular situation. If you don't want to hear anything, click off. That's fine. I totally understand. But one example that I thought was really cool is that one of their friends growing up, a neighbor across the street, Wendy's ex-boyfriend, he got injured in a car accident and he has brain damage. A lot of movies, dark comedies mainly, would use that in humor. And it works in those movies, you know, it is funny, like Scary Movie and everything. I was expecting there to be a lot of comedy, kind of like black comedy, when I heard what happened to him. But it is not treated in a humorous way. It really goes into how he struggles, how sometimes he just stands somewhere and forgets what he's doing, how he needs help getting home sometimes. And these, my fierce protector, they're neighbors, and there's a really sweet moment where the mom asks Judd if he can go pick up her son from work just to make sure he's safe. And it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet. You really love this character and you are endearing to him. And I just really appreciate that they didn't, you know, use it in a comical way. I wasn't like offended when they do it, but I just thought that was really sweet. And there's certain characters that I was expecting to kind of play off in a stereotype, and I really appreciate they didn't do that. That's a spoiler to give away who all these people are. I really want you to experience it yourself, but I do think that comedies like this should get a lot more attention. There's just so many of them out there where I think reviewers or critics or, you know, talk show hosts like don't actually watch it and then just like say, oh, this was really funny, or this is, you know, this. And they don't actually watch it, I feel like, because their reviews don't match what happened. So I wish these movies got a lot more attention, a lot more respect that they deserve. Definitely watch it. It's really sweet, and it's also really funny, and there's just really great moments with these characters. I think you'll fall in love with them the way I did. Maybe not. Maybe you'll watch it and be like, these people are horrible. What is Janice's problem? But I felt like, you know, they were really great, well-written characters. So highly recommend. Another reason I watched it is for Ben Schwartz, another actor I love so much, and I'll be watching all his movies too in another marathon. But this concludes the review of This Is Where I Leave You. Sorry if it's a little jarbled. Really don't want to give too much away. Just gave a little bit away. Just a little nibble of what happens, but hopefully that's it. This concludes day one of the marathon with Kathryn Hahn, which I'm calling the Mara-Han. The next movie, I have an idea of what I'm doing next. I'm still kind of deciding. I've seen 2 other movies of hers recently in doing this, and I'm still kind of deciding which one I want to do next. But I'll let you guys know. You have a wonderful night. Take care.